So there's some pretty big news that came out this afternoon from Adam Schefter, who says here, the Bengals have taken the rare step of granting all-pro defensive end Trey Hendrickson permission to seek a trade. It's been an honor and privilege to represent Cincinnati over the last 4 years, said Hendrickson, the NFL's sack leader. I love this city and organization. I appreciate the privilege of now being allowed to explore my options. Tom Pelissero adds here, Trey Hendrickson is due $16 million in the final year of his contract, and the sides have been unable to agree on an extension. There will be a lot of interest in what could be the rare Bengals trade. So this is great news for the Packers, who I think have a big needed edge rusher. You now have Myles Garrett out there who could be available in a trade. The Browns don't seem like they want to trade him. I assume for the right price, he could be traded, and he sounds like he really wants to be out of Cleveland and go to a contender, which the Packers would fit that potential mold. And now you have Trey Hendrickson out there as well. So now there's multiple pass rushers who could be available in Myles Garrett's case. Trey Hendrickson now available in the trade market. And the Packers were a team in 2024 that struggled when it came to getting consistent pressure on the quarterback. It was much worse early in the season, got much better late in the season, but they're still missing, a dominant pass rush. Rashawn Gary has been a lot better, but he hasn't been playing at an elite level. And Lucas Van Ness, as a first rounder, has not really played well in his first couple seasons. And the Packers, now without Preston Smith as well, there's just not a ton of depth at edge rusher. And I think if you look at the Packers from a perspective over the next few seasons, what would really take their chances of being a Super Bowl contender, up a notch, it would be getting a player of Trey Hendrickson's caliber. And let's just take a look here at how productive Trey Hendrickson has been over the past few seasons. So he led the NFL in 2024 with 17.5 sacks. He was first team All-Pro, second in Defensive Player of the Year voting, and in 2023 he had 17.5 sacks. So 2 straight years of 17.5 sacks, insane production. We have here as well from, I think it's been Babby on ESPN, says, since signing with the Bengals, Hendrickson has been one of the NFL's best pass rushers. He ranks third in pressure rate during that span, according to ESPN research, and is third in total sacks, 57, trailing fellow division rivals Myles Garrett 60 and TJ Watt 58.5. However, his average annual salary ranks 11th among all edge rushers. So he is one of the most productive pass rushers in the NFL. The question becomes, what do the Bengals want in a trade for Trey Hendrickson? The important thing to keep in mind, he is 30 years old, so he's not in his, I would say, prime years. Honestly, he's still in his prime. Take that back. A lot of guys, around 27, 28, that's sort of their best years. I do think for edge rushers, they seem to last a little bit longer. So he is maybe closer to the end of his career than the beginning at 30 years old. But in my mind, I feel like he still has a good 2, 3, 4 years left in him. There are a lot of edge rushers in the NFL who play pretty well until their mid-30s. And so that's why I think he's worth trading for if you're the Packers. I was looking around Twitter to see, what people were floating out there when it came to potential trade value, just to see what everyone was thinking. And I was honestly pretty shocked. There was a lot of third round. He's worth a third rounder. He's worth a, third and a fourth or a fourth, things like that. But in my mind, I wouldn't be opposed to the Packers trading their first round pick for Trey Hendrickson. Sometimes I'm shocked for how cheap players are out there when it comes to the trade market. He does have 1 year left on his deal, so you're going to have to pay him a lot of money, no doubt about that. Spotrac predicts a 2-year, $60 million contract. So you're going to have to pay a lot of money. The thing is, when you look at first-round picks in the NFL, it is not like a certainty that guy is going to be a very productive, pass rusher. And when you look at edge rusher hit rates in round 1, according to this one article I was reading by ESPN, I can't remember the guy's name exactly right now, but the hit rate on edge rushers, which is guys who got a second contract with their first team, was only 44%. And so if you're the Packers at pick number 23, you have a 44% chance-ish of hitting on the guy based on those numbers from 2000 to 2019. And you could instead trade that pick for a guy that is going to be productive. And I think that with the Packers where they are right now, the need they have at edge rusher, they should 100% trade their first-round pick. If it comes out a team trades a second-rounder for him, I'll be a little upset that Gutekunst wasn't willing to, pay up a little more and give him a first-round pick, because I just think that for a guy of this caliber, it's not very often that you have a chance to get someone who is so consistent, has rarely been injured, and has produced at a top-tier level. The only concern with him, he's not as great against the run, If you look at PFF run defense grades, he was 48th in 2024, 105th in 2023. So he's not as quite of a full, all-around player as a Myles Garrett. So I think Myles Garrett could go for more of a 1 and a 2 potentially. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking there in the background. She just ate some food and probably wants to go outside, but I want to finish this video real quick. So he's not quite as good as an all-around player as a Myles Garrett. But I still think that for the pass rushing productivity, he's worth a first-round pick in my mind. So it'll be interesting to sort of watch and see what other teams think he's worth, and hopefully the Packers take a chance here, because I think edge rusher is the biggest need for the Packers this offseason. If you want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time.